Hello, I'm Ricky Lee, and today on the watch list, I'm joined by Stewart MacDonald, CEO of Beacon Energy Plc. The company has announced plans for a strategic investment in LN Energy alongside a £3.79 million capital raise. The transaction would bring the Coles Santo gas project in Italy into Beacon's portfolio, a development stage asset that could play a role in Europe's ongoing push to strengthen domestic energy supply. Stewart, welcome to the watch list.
Thanks, Ricky. Delighted to be here.
So, Stuart, you've just completed a deal with Reabold Resources PLC that will see Beacon pursue a reverse takeover in LN Energy. Can you walk us through the structure of the transaction and what it means strategically for Beacon and its shareholders?
Yeah, look, we were delighted to close the transaction with Reabold. It's effectively a relaunch of Beacon and positions us as a development-led European oil and gas company with a clear pathway to production. Through the deal, we're acquiring a 48% shareholding in LN Energy, a UK private company with a 90% working interest and operatorship of the Coles Santo gas field in Italy. Coles Santo is one of the largest undeveloped gas fields onshore Western Europe. The field is fully appraised with independently audited 2P reserves of 73 BCF, which is around about 12 million barrels on an oil equivalent basis. And importantly, over 80% of those reserves sit in the proven category. So this transaction really is transformational for Beacon and its shareholders. It provides the company with exposure to a material gas project, proven reserves, a clear pathway to production, and a strong pipeline of value catalysts over the next 18 months.
And speaking of Colle Santo, the project in Italy, it's the center of this deal, right? So for investors who may be less familiar with that particular asset, can you tell us about the project and what makes it attractive from a development standpoint?
Sure. So the field is located in central Italy, some 35 kilometers from the Adriatic coast. The development concept outlines a small-scale LNG solution, which received its full EIA environmental approval earlier this year. The field is extensively appraised. It's got 2 wells which are already drilled and completed on site, and those wells will be used as the future producers, so there's no further development drilling required. The gas needs minimal processing, so it's produced on site, it's converted into LNG, it's then transported to the end user in specialist containers. And the development is really very similar to the Sound Energy micro LNG project in Morocco, which recently entered commissioning and first production.
Great stuff. So then looking ahead now then, what are the key operational or corporate milestones investors should be watching for over the next 12 months as the company advances this strategy?
Yeah, so we've got a really exciting program over the next 6 months, very much focused on a final investment decision or FID. In terms of the key milestones and catalysts, firstly, completing the final technical work, which includes a well integrity test and the front-end engineering and design, which is already at an advanced stage. Secondly, we're focused on securing the production concession award, which is the final outstanding regulatory approval. And thirdly, focused on finalising the financing arrangements through the construction period. The development will be delivered in partnership with Italfluid, a specialist oil and gas contractor with a really strong track record in project delivery. And then once FID occurs, we're then looking at an 18-month construction period before first gas is achieved.
Well, it sounds like you have got a lot planned for this next stage, but tell us a little bit about how you're going to fund it. Tell us about this £3.79 million capital raise to support that next phase of development. Can you talk us through the planned funding strategy or the project economics?
Sure. So on the funding side, I see 2 phases. Firstly, you've got the period from now through to FID, where the project needs in the order of €2 million, and we are fully funded. Secondly, you've got the 18-month construction period from FID through to first gas, which requires around €75 million. Now, LN Energy already have a letter of intent in place with Italfluid, the main contractor for the project, which effectively defers 50 million euros out of the 75 million, such that it is paid out of future production and cash flow. Now that leaves just over 25 million to be funded through a combination of third-party debt, prepay, and we've also been advised that this project is highly likely to be eligible for energy transition grant funding, given the project's low carbon credentials. Just last week, LN Energy secured an offtake and financing agreement with a leading Italian wholesaler and distributor of energy products. Now, that deal provides not only additional capital ahead of FID, but also demonstrates the strong industry interest in the project. On the commercial and economic side, as part of this transaction, we commissioned RPS Energy to undertake a CPR. That CPR calculated an NPV for the project of 62 million euros, which is about 27 million euros debt to Beacon, which is really demonstrates that there's a lot of value in this project, particularly compared to Beacon's current market cap of £5 million. There's also the RPS CPR demonstrates material cash flow generation, about 10 million euros per annum, and that was based on gas prices of $10 per MMBTU. Given what's happening in the Middle East, gas prices in Europe have increased very materially, and so at $15 per MMBTU, that free cash flow generation almost doubles. I think finally just wanted to say that with everything that's going on in the Middle East at the moment, there really is a focus on domestic energy security around the world. And I think that's a really conducive environment to securing those final outstanding approvals for domestic energy projects such as Coles Santo.
Well, thank you so much. That's all we have time for today. So thank you again, Stewart.
Very good to join you. Thank you.
Once again, that is Stewart MacDonald, CEO of Beacon Energy. For more on the company and its plans around the Coles Santo project, visit beaconenergyplc.com. That's all for this episode of The Watchlist. I'm Ricky Lee. Make good choices today.